Well, we got another new Ahsoka episode out this week, part 4, Fallen Jedi. I'm not sure I get why it's called Fallen Jedi. Was it focusing on one of the Fallen Jedi? We learn a little bit about. Actually, no, we don't even really learn much about Balin. I don't even know what's going on with this guy. So, the episode. Spoilers. I'm gonna put up the warning. Um, what do we got here? So it starts off with Sabine and Hu Yang. They're working away on the ship because they got to make repairs after they got blown out of space and then had to make an emergency landing in the forest to hide after avoiding the space whales last episode. Okay. Um. Ahsoka says something to Sabine when she's on the stairs to the fighter or the ramp. She says, "Can I trust you?" Which is, I don't know. They've known each other for a long time, and they were master and apprentice at some point. That seems like kind of a dick thing to say there. Maybe that's just me. Hu Yang is doing his thing, fixing. I mean, he looks great. It's one thing I gotta say about this show. I'm really enjoying the production values. It looks and feels like Star Wars. I know some people complained about the volume stages in that. I don't find it really bothers me that much personally, but oh well, each their own, right? So I'm enjoying the production values. I mean, Hu Yang looks great, but then he gets into a fight with another droid, and I'm kind of surprised that the battle droid was able to take him out so handily, because he was putting up a fight. You think like this guy's left over from the High Republic. He should be a lot better at fighting than this new battle droid or assassin droid, whatever it is. Anyway, that's a small gripe there. It cuts over to Syndulla leaving the the New Republic base that she's on, and she's just leaving with her son Jason. Then a lieutenant stops her, and he's kind of a bit too forceful with a general, I found, but this scene didn't really bother me. I mean, this is what they should have just done in the first place. Just have Hera, okay, gather up a squadron, we're going to check this out, and if we have to, even though I know I'm going to be helping my friends, we already have cause for this. They captured a prisoner, okay. You could have just cut out that whole thing last episode with Mon Mothma and the Senators. Could have cut all that out. In fact, the last episode was, I think, had a runtime of 34 minutes, but probably when you take out the credits, probably less than 30 minutes. This one had a runtime about 34, 35 minutes, and that's taking out the credits. You could have just cut it down a little bit and put these two episodes together. Would have been way better, because then you could have cut out that stuff from the last episode with Hera, and you could have had more of Sabine and Ahsoka and Hu Yang. Plus, you could have shown more of what the bad guys were up to and explain it a bit more, I think. I don't know why the story writing on this is bothering me so much. It just seems like really poor writing. I mean, I'm loving the cast, the people they cast to play these characters, and the representation of how Hu Yang looks as the droid, and they got David Tennant to voice him. The costumes, any prosthetics they have to wear, everything is like top tier in terms of effects. They're doing practical as well as CGI, and then there's compositing everywhere when you look out the screens when they're in a cockpit. You're looking out, that's all just probably blue screen or green screen, and it all looks great. So I'm really loving the production values on it, but they seem to be like not doing as much with the stories, and maybe they just needed more time, because Disney's got lots of money. So I don't know if it's a money issue or they're just rushing these things, which could be the case, because former Disney management, Bob Chapek, was just like, nope, let's get lots of stuff out there. Our strategy is quantity, not quality. So this could still be a remnant of that, which I sure hope not. I'm not overly enjoying it so far. So the stuff with Hera this episode was great. That's exactly what you need to have. You can just cut out the other stuff and forget about it. So it goes back. We got a fight with Hu Yang. Yeah, he should. And why doesn't he have his own lightsaber? I don't understand that. He's teaching people, younglings, how to make these lightsabers for her. Shouldn't he have his own? And he has his own like practice ones, but can those be used for combat anyway? Anyway, minor gripe. Sabine and Ren go after they take out the droids that are attacking them, which was all right. Wasn't amazing combat, but there was nice. One of them was shooting at Sabine, and then Ahsoka used her force powers for an assist to push the other one in front. So the droid ends up shooting its own droid, and then Sabine shoots a grappling and takes out that one. That was good teamwork on their part. I like that. We did get another of the Ahsoka arm cross. That seems to be Rosario Dawson's stereotypical move there. Maybe it's just, I don't know. I mean, she's great in what she does. Why is she being directed to act this way? I don't know. What happened between Sabine and her that now she's such a dick to her now? Like, this whole series now, 4 episodes in. Although this should have been the 3rd episode. I think they're just dragging it out because they know they want people to watch this and get as much ratings for as long as possible, but who knows. The fight with, who we got there, Merrick and Shin against Ahsoka and Sabine was all right. I mean, the lightsaber fighting in this is not as good as I found it in the prequels. It's too up close, where you can only see one character too much of the time, and every time you see 2 of them, it just cuts really fast. And I'm not really enjoying that. Hey, come on there, kitty. You gonna be good there, kitty? There she is. She's back. So, yeah, I'm not liking this Disney lightsaber fighting. Except for maybe what was it? Last Jedi? We got that dual fight with Rey and Kylo Ren, or Ben. They were doing that big fight there. That was all right, but other than that, the lightsaber fighting in these Disney stuff is not really. It's not as good as what I found with the prequels. There, you want to have really well rehearsed, very good choreography, and it's like a dance, and you practice it, and you got people who work out these things, and then once you get it, you train the actors to do it, and you just do it over and over and over again. Like, even if it takes months, who cares? And that's how you get to be really good. You do a lot of prep work for the movie. So, yeah, the lightsaber fighting, I'm not really enjoying it that much. However, Sabine's fighting Padawan Shin, yeah, that was pretty good. And then you get Ahsoka taking on the former Inquisitor Merrick. Of course she's going to take him out. Although, why did he suddenly disappear into nothing? I don't get that. But Ahsoka has taken on Inquisitors before. She went toe-to-toe with, she took out Darth Maul. She defeated him at the end of the Clone Wars. She's gone head-to-head with Vader. I mean, of course she'd be able to take out this guy. She's probably taken out other Inquisitors that I'm not naming here. And then afterwards she leaves Sabine and goes to take on Balin there, who's still been meditating the whole time, although this time he was hanging out with Morgan there from the Night Sisters. And so now, what it is, they brought the hyperspace ring, I guess it's finished built, so they brought it into the atmosphere so that they can set up the map and hook up a device to map the hyperspace coordinates. And they have to bring it into atmosphere, I guess. They didn't explain that. They could have solved that with one line, you know. Okay, ship's finished, we're bringing her in so we can set up this link to calculate the hyperspace coordinate. There you go, done. So they missed out there. When I first watched it, I didn't know. I'm like, what is going on here? So they do that, and then it can start generating, and it's a ticking clock. Why didn't they just make it start doing that immediately when she first found it and showed them the map? And then it could have been ticking clock this whole time, and that would have given a reason for Balin to stand there and guard it instead of just him standing there looking out at the sea, okay, in the volume. That's not, that's another thing. Man, I'm being way too nitpicky with this show. I gotta say what I like about it. Lightsaber fighting was interesting. I mean, it was nice that Sabine there was able to take on the Padawan Shin there, but of course they're going to be going back. So, I mean, so Sabine ends up giving the map to Balin. Why does she do this? The whole time I'm like, as soon as she gets it, and then she's pointing her gun at it, I'm like, why not just run? Okay? If you take off, okay, maybe she gets back to the ship and they take off. Maybe she gets away from Balin because he was still fighting Ahsoka at the time. And how did Ahsoka lose to this guy? I just said she took out Darth Maul and she went toe to toe and held her own, I guess, to a draw with Vader, who was a Sith Lord. Now maybe this guy Balin, who's a fallen Jedi. Once again, their lightsabers are not completely red, except for that Inquisitor blade. But theirs are still like a dark orange with a little bit of red in it. So maybe he has more power because of he's getting the dark side of the Force. Does that give him more power? Because that's how it works with the Sith. And that's why they're so powerful. And that's also why there's only 2 of them. Many questions I have on this. So why did Sabine give Balin the map when she should have tried to get away with it? Also, it's not the best storytelling when you got like whoever's going to get Ezra Bridger and Thrawn in this other galaxy, they're going to have to be on that hyperspace ring. So they're not. So if whoever gets away in it, okay, anyone who's left behind, they're just going to be sitting around waiting because they don't have a giant hyperspace ring like that unless you can get there. Maybe they'll be able to get there if they had the hyperspace coordinates, but maybe it would just take a lot longer. I don't know. Once again, more questions. I like that Hera decided to take charge, and this is what we're doing now. And we get to see Mr. Kim again, so he's back. We don't get to see Dave Filoni in... he was another TIE fighter pilot in Mandalorian that we saw. Maybe it was Book of Boba Fett. Let me know down below. But we see a bunch of other fighter pilots there. And so they get the Ghost and Chopper's there and Jason. They all go to check it out. Interesting fact, though, the voice of Chopper, all his little and sometimes you can make him out saying things. That's Dave Filoni doing that voice usually. So we still haven't seen any Thrawn so far, and we're halfway through this series. We've seen Ezra Bridger, but it was the recording of him in the past. And that would have been 10 years ago. Does anyone know the exact timeline? I'm pretty sure it was about 10 years ago. Anyway, so the Eye of Sion takes off, and Ahsoka, who falls off the cliff. Was that really a defeat? She falls off the cliff and ends up back in, the weird Force space time continuum. It's kind of like a purgatory, I guess. Because there's nothing going on there and you can only just see things. It's called apparently the World Between Worlds. It's the first time I've heard that. It's from the end of Rebels when they did kind of a time travel thing through this weird purgatory, this Star Wars purgatory. How did she get back in there? Did she fall into the water and the shock put her back there? Okay. Last time they had to unlock this huge this temple with these gods, and anyway, you saw Rebels. If not, check it out because Rebels is really good show. And then we see Anakin Skywalker there. So Hayden Christensen's back. Good that he keeps coming back and that they keep bringing him back. He deserves to get some. Well, it is nice that he's getting some work. He hasn't been in that much outside of Star Wars. He had a few things back when he first got cast in Star Wars, and they weren't very good. What was it? Jumper, and he was in some other things that weren't that great. A couple of years back before the pandemic, he was in some rom-com movie that was actually pretty good. What else we got there? Anyway, so he shows up. That's supposed to be the big surprise to break the internet this week, although his name's on the cast list. we knew he was coming anyway. So that's not really a shock to me. It's just, okay, this is how they're bringing him back. And I'm fine with it. Always like to see more of that character. This episode was better than episode 3, but I'm still not loving it though. I'm hoping it gets better. It's just, I don't know. It's just not as good as I hoped it would be. It's not as good as Rebels. It's not as good as most of the Clone Wars seasons. Those first 2 seasons, don't bother with them. It's not as good as Andor. I mean, it's definitely better than Book of Boba Fett. Is it better or worse than Obi-Wan series? I don't know at this time. Okay, hoping this gets better and that they finish it well. Maybe this was just another script that was supposed to be a movie and it got stretched out so that they could make it into a Disney Plus series by or the previous management. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on the new Ahsoka episode, Part 4, Fallen Jedi. Yeah, let me know down in the comments below what you thought of this. Are you enjoying this series so far? Are you not? Why not? Let me know your thoughts, please.